Hi Paul Prince, back this time for the Divine Feminine reading. Do apologise for the delay upload. I have had a tattoo which I've been allowing time to heal. I do read for the collective, so that means some bits may resonate, all of it may resonate, or none of it may resonate. And if none of it resonates, that just means this reading's not for you. I also read with intuition, so I read what I pick up within the cards and what I feel within the pictures. If any of you are watching, wondering, I am using the Dark Royal Tarot. And if any of you are watching, do ever want to send me any new cards to keep my readings new and fresh, I will have a wish list linked below in the description. If any of you watching do like the way I read and the message and the way I get it across, if you could like and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. And if any of you do subscribe, there will be a bell icon next to it that you can click that will notify you every time I upload. With that said, let's find out what's going on with the Divine Feminine. What's going on with the Divine Feminine? 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 Okay. So. So there's a situation here that you kind of had control over it, but it's kind of now died down to the point where you don't need control. It's like completely dead, like you're done with it, moved on from it. But there's a point where you thought it was dead, but then there's some slight bits that keep... there's like a situation where it keeps rearing its ugly head. And I think it's to do with the Divine Masculine. That you either hear their name, or you see their family, or you see them. Or you get to see a bit of how their life is now, and it's kind of... I'm feeling like some of you are feeling resentful and kind of a bit envious of the lifestyle they've got going on, or you're seeing the outside of what they're portraying, and even though it's not really what it is, it's like you're feeling like it's unfair that they've done so much shitty stuff that it's like you're going through this shit and they're not, and it should be the other way around. They've done the shitty stuff, they should go through the shit. You've been good, you should get the good stuff. It's kind of what's going on here. I'm feeling like Spirit are talking to you, and in the 5D, and when you meditate, and you're kind of fighting what you're either being told or shown. You're fighting it because you don't want to believe it. You're trying to tell yourself, oh, that's just my own head voice, or it's not really what it is. It's just interpretation, and it is really what's going on, but you're just not really having it, I'm feeling. I feel like there's a lot of aggression towards the whole situation right now, because you've kind of had your eyes open to things, and you're feeling like the only one that's been hurt, and the only one that's really getting attacked by... Some of you feel it's from Spirit, some of it's feeling from the Divine, even from your Divine Masculine, like you're the ones that are being hurt and no one else is. And it's really like you're just having to submit, and it's not really who we are right now. We're the ones that are usually in control, as we're the light bearers, so we are the ones that really lead the way and control it. It's like now we're having to sit back and submit to someone telling us the way things have to go, or the way things are, and it's just not really sitting right with some of you. And it's like you're trying to get away from it. Some of you are trying to detach yourself from the whole twin flame thing. Some of you just don't listen to the divine. Some of you have completely cut yourselves off and shut yourselves down. Some of you have cut off from the divine masculine. And it's really, no matter what you're trying, something is holding you down. No matter what you do, something's either keeps reminding you of it, something's keep coming up, piping in your head. It doesn't matter what you do, there's something that's like, no, you're going to sit and you're going to listen. Even if you refuse to ignore it, something is there ticking or picking at you that you could sit and say you're going to ignore it. It's there. And you could tell yourself, or you like blue in the face, that it's not there. And you know it is. And that's what pisses you off, I'm feeling. It's like you are begging for scraps in a way when people that deserve scraps aren't kind of getting scraps. So let's have a look at triggers. Let's have a look at triggers. Triggers. So, triggers. Right, so the main thing around all of this is family life. It's like your home life is kind of not what it is lately. Either there's shit going on within it, drama, people aren't getting on, or just within yourself, like not even your family, it can be you within the family home. There is something not sitting right, or there's something off, and you can feel that it's off, and it's causing a lot of the imbalance in things. It's kind of, you're sitting there right now, you're fine. With things that's gone on, you're not struggling to the point where you can't have things, you can't afford things, you can. And it's the kind of the balance that's needed right now. But because it's not to your liking, you're kind of fighting it. And it's really causing a like effect within your family home. It's like you're sitting there with yourself and trying to block it out. It's like you're trying to block it out and leave that part of you away so you don't have to deal with it, and it's kind of making you feel a lot more isolated and a lot more stuck within yourself. And the other trigger is that you need to deal with is it's like you're trying to make a point of saying, I've done this, reward me. Instead of just sitting there, doing it and leaving it and just knowing that if it's worthy enough, then it'll get rewarded. It's easy for someone to sit there and say, well, I deserve this. That's cool that you think you deserve it. That's fine. And you probably do deserve it. But when you then say, I deserve it, give me what I want, you just sound like a spoiled brat instead of someone who actually deserves it. Because someone who's deserving won't beg to be rewarded. They do it because it's the right thing to do, not because there's a reward at the end. So you have to deal with not being so, look at me. You also have to deal with, stop trying to shut it out just because you don't like what's being said. And there's also, stop fighting what you are being told. Because you're trying to block it out because you don't like what's being said, but you're also fighting what's being said. You need to stop fighting, you need to stop blocking it out, and you need to stop being like, well, I've done this, now look at me. Because if you're not going to like what they're going to say here, If the thing is, if you're not going to like what they're saying, you're refusing to listen to what they've got to say, why the fuck should they listen to what you've got to say? It's a two-way street. It can work both ways. So now let's get some guidance and advice. Some guidance and advice. Some guidance and advice. Some guidance and advice moving forward. Some guidance and advice moving forward. So just know that you're still stable, you're still got stability, and nothing's going to come, it doesn't matter what comes your way, it's not going to break your foundations beneath you. So stop. Don't sit there and be like, well, when's it coming to me? I'm sitting and waiting, but nothing's happened. Just keep living your life and go out there and find things for yourself and move forward yourself. Instead of waiting for it to come for you, you go looking for it. Doesn't matter what it is, just go looking for it. Let yourself guide you in a way. Whatever it is you're wanting, go looking for it. Don't expect it just to fall on your feet. The more you just sit there, the more you're adding to the whole how come it's not happening for me. Like I said, someone that's obese, it's good enough them saying they want to lose weight. Unless they get up and lose weight, they ain't going to lose weight. It's not just going to fall off them. Same with you wanting something. It's not just going to magically there. You have to put things into motion. You have to put things in place. And it's fair enough if you sit there and say, oh, well, I've been doing that and I've been doing this. Well, that's great. It's good that you've been putting things in place, but you need to still keep doing it. Don't be like, well, I've done it and it hasn't worked out, so now I'm going to stop. Because if you've got the attitude of I'm just going to stop when it doesn't go my way, that's negative, and then that's going to put a whole fork in the road when you're like, well, I've tried and it didn't work, so now I'm going to give up. You literally sound like you're two. And when we were kids, unless you're spoiled, if you're going to sit there and try and throw your toys out the pram to get a result, it doesn't work. The reason you need to stop fighting what's being said to you is because that is kind of your stability, and when you're attacking it and trying to shut it out or say no, I don't want to listen, or you're fighting it, you're kind of putting negativity on your support system and your stability. And when you start to break down your stability foundation, you're then going to have no stability, and then it's just going to be completely fucked for you, and you're going to have to rebuild that foundation yourself. You kind of need to find that balance, even if it's not what you want to hear, or you don't like what's being said. You still need to listen and take it on board, because that's how you're going to progress in life. So that's what I'm getting for the Divine Feminine. Thanks for watching.